Hi, this is Paul Merca, and I am here in San Francisco to cover the Nike Spring 2010 Global Running Summit, where several journalists from around the world are here to see what Nike has in store for the Spring 2010 season. And this event is being held in conjunction with the Nike Women's Marathon, which occurs on October 18th here in downtown San Francisco. Behind me is the Runners Expo for the Nike Women's Marathon. It's a very lively environment here at Union Square in San Francisco. While we're here, let's go see what Nike has in store for the runners in spring 2010.
We're like almost at walking pace. Oh my gosh, I love this. Right down the hammer where I text you. Very nice. Have you designed your shoe? Oh, I love it.
Oh, nice. You made it all nice.
Well, you know, and it's funny, it's not quite like you colored, it's more of a...
That's all really great, but it all came from a very, very simple idea, a runner and his coach. And their mission was to serve runners. And that's something that we talk about and think about a lot in the running team. That's a huge responsibility for us when we work on product to think about. And we get a lot of different opinions. We have a lot of people telling us what to do every single day, not just you guys, but people internally and runners. And there's a lot of different people who tell us what to do. And the one voice that we always make sure that we listen to is the voice of the runner. And that's something as a team we're really, really focused on. Making sure that we listen to the voice of the runner and let that voice inform and inspire our product creation. A really good example of this, which I want to quickly talk about, is the Lunar Glide. And for those of you who were in Boston and London earlier this year, we talked to you a lot about the Lunar Glide. We're launching that shoe. It hadn't hit retail yet, but we were really, really fired up about it. I think if you were in Boston, I think I nearly fell off the stage. I was so excited at one point when I was talking about the shoe. And same in London. And I just want to share some of the results that we've had with this shoe. I think it's a good place to start to talk about some of the feedback that we've got and share that with you. So when we think about a product, we think of three key metrics for success. The first is the industry, the second is retail, and the third is what runners tell us. So industry first, and the feedback on this shoe has been phenomenal around the world. We've won Best New Shoe in the Running Network Shoe Guide for Fall 09, thanks to Larry and Craig. We've won Best Debut in Runner's World in the Fall 09 Guide. We've got some really nice accolades from Shape Magazine. We've won Best Gear in Outside Magazine. So around the world, we've had a phenomenal amount of feedback from you guys, the industry. We really do thank you for that. We know that that's really important as we position products. So we really, really appreciate all the editorials, all the feedback and all the awards. So thanks very much on behalf of the product team for those endorsements. The second thing that we look at is retail. And this is typically the litmus test. So all runners are going to go out and buy the shoes. You know, it's all very well and good us getting awards and talking about how we come up with the insights and inspiration, but we've got to make sure that we sell them, right? And the retail feedback has been phenomenal. Whether it be in Nike Town, London, people actually pulling shoes off the mannequins to sell, and that happened in Nike Town, London. Or whether it be from running stores around the world who have told us the only issue with the shoe has been stock. We've just sold out of this shoe. So the feedback from retail has been phenomenal, and we know that it's going to fuel growth because there's huge amounts of demand out there. In fact, we were just in Nike Town last night. We followed a few people through the expo that went over to Nike Town as they went to the footwear wall, and it was just great to see how many people were trying the Lunar Glide on and then buying the Lunar Glide. And that makes us just feel really good that people are going out and spending the hard-earned money on this shoe. And finally, the thing that we really, really think about a lot is what runners are telling us, the voice of the runner. That was the starting point for this product, so we want to make sure that we listen to what runners are saying. And actually just wanted to share a couple of quotes that we've had with you here. And these are really, really representative. And the first one I'll share with you is from Fiona. Fiona's a 23-year-old runner from London, and she was actually part of the original research project. The Lunar Glide was inspired by a 2-year research project where we went around the world and talked to female runners. We only spoke to female runners, and Fiona was one of the participants in those original studies. She was an ASICS wearer, 23 years old, and very, very competitive with her running. So perfect target for us. And when we get emails from Fiona saying, I think I'm in love with a pair of trainers, that's when we feel really good. Like that emotion and the fact that we really exceeded our expectations, we felt great about this code. And that's pretty representative. There's a lot of people who love this product already. It's been out in the market now for 8-9 weeks. The feedback has been phenomenal. So we feel good about this. The second one here, and this is an interesting one, this comes from Paul. So Paul's a runner, but he's also a guy who works in a running store. So very, very technical, and it's his job to sell product. Now, I love this top part here. So science and maths meets love and passion. And part of the brief for the shoe, as you might remember, was we wanted to deliver a shoe that runners didn't have to compromise. It didn't have to compromise functionally, and it didn't have to compromise emotionally. It was a shoe that would feel great when you're running it, but people would just fall in love with. So we thought this quote was a really good one to share with you as well. And finally, this comes from the US, a guy who works in a running store in the US, Second Soul, which is a running store here. And the reason that we love this is this shoe has changed the way people sell footwear within running stores. So typically, there's been that compromise between cushioning and or stability. But with the Lunar Glide, we've been able to deliver both. And it's really starting to change the way people think about how they sell product and how they use product. Meters away from us. So one of the world-class athletes that we talk to and work with a lot is Matt Tegenkamp, who's a very, very promising young 5,000 meter runner in the US. He's just run 12:58, which is, for those of you who aren't familiar with the 5,000 meter distance, that's blazing fast. That's really, really cool.